What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands.
You just do that. Hey guys, we're out at the range today. We're going to be doing the JC Arms, Pepsi, and Coke Challenge. I'm here with a couple of other We Like Shooting patrons, Jared and Dustin. We just got our new shipment of JC in, so we're all going to be doing a. We don't know what we're shooting, and I guess a bunch of different ammo. So load up and start shooting. Let's shoot. All right, Jared's going to shoot first. He's got a PPQ, and we're going to load him up with some Federal, JC, UMC, Winchester White Box, Perfecta, and Blazer Brass. He's going to do 5 rounds each, 7 yards, and he's not going to know which ammo he's going to shoot. So if you want to go ahead and turn around, grab your gun, and the first ammo, 5 rounds. All right, what do we got here? All right, second 5 rounds. All right, next. All right. And And last but not least,
last 2 magazines.
what's that?
Glasses fogged up. I couldn't see shit.
All right, which one? Which target?
White box. Man, I'm hoping that's JC.
Which one?
I'm gonna go white box, JC, Blazer, Perfect, Federal, UMC.
All right. So you shot Winchester White Box, UMC, JC. I think you pulled that shot.
I definitely pulled that last one.
This one was Federal. This one was Perfecta, and this was the Blazer Brass.
The best group's definitely with JC. I mean, as far as shit that I didn't pull.
I think the JC, what was
Yeah.
this? The Remington UMC, I think,
oddly enough.
was probably the 2 best groups. All right, so here's the total groupings we have so far with all the different ammo. And our top two were the Remington and the JC arms out of the PPQ with Jared. So now what we're going to do is we're going to load it up staggered. Take your time, and we're going to shoot one on the left, one on the left. And we'll run the JC and the Remington back to back and see which one comes out with a tighter group. Alright, you got your target back out on 7 yards, and stagger loaded. So you're going to be shooting one on the left, one on the right, one on the left. Back and forth, 10 rounds.
I'm going to start left.
Yep, take your time. Difference between the shots as far as recoil or consistency?
Considerably softer recoil over here. Other than that, no.
So the right target was softer?
Yeah.
What do you think that was?
Hopefully at the UFC.
That was right. And both of those look bigger than your original two groups.
Yeah.
But maybe about the same size. We'll line it up and see what they're actually at.
I've probably shot about 150 rounds. I'd say my wrist is probably about shot right now.
Alright, so here's the last two targets out of the PPQ with Jared. It was 3.9 inches with the JC and 2.4 inches on the Remington. Any final thoughts?
Nah. I have a lot of those shots. I've been shooting for 2 hours now. We probably shot this earlier, but it's definitely softer. I'll give the JC, I got 200 more rounds of it, so I'll still be shooting it for sure. We'll see how it works out.
Sorry, Nicole. Alright, so this is Dustin's turn. We're going to be shooting Federal, JC, Winchester, and Perfecta 115. So if you're ready, you can go ahead and turn around. The gun. And your first mag is loaded right here. So this will be 5 rounds on target. Alright. Your next mag. There you go.
Just try to pull it easy until it goes. You know what I mean? That's good.
And your last one is loaded up with these first and these second. You've got 5 rounds on the first target, 5 rounds on the second target.
Well, aim for the X in the middle.
And the second target. So how'd you feel about those 4 groups?
They're not too bad. The first one definitely pulled the top one. and this one here. They felt pretty good. All the groups felt decent. Obviously not very consistent with them, but they're not too bad.
Any difference in the feel or recoil?
The recoil impulse on this one was definitely different. A lot stronger recoil impulse. Not sure if that was the Perfecta or which one that was, but it definitely had a lot stronger felt recoil in it.
Okay. If you had to guess, which ones are which?
This is Perfecta just from the recoil impulse. As far as grouping wise, what I shoot, I'm gonna assume this is Winchester white box. That I kind of felt like was Federal just from experience shooting it, and I'm gonna go with JC Arms on that one.
You got all of those wrong.
All of them wrong. That's kind of what was gonna happen.
This one was Federal. This one was JC. This was Winchester white box, and that was Perfecta. So I'm trying to measure them to see.
All right.
So here's the results with the XTN. Shooting him. Even though the Perfecta is the tightest screw in Winchester, has a more consistent. So we're going to load up the JC and the Winchester, stagger those rounds, and we'll do a shootout. Winchester and JC.
Let's do it.
All right, I've got 5 rounds staggered up of the Winchester and the JC. So I'll go ahead, hand you your gun, and you're going to be shooting one on the left, one on the right, one on the left. Here's your mag loaded up with 10 rounds, and your first shot is right there. Second shot there. How'd you feel about those?
I pulled these two for sure. I could feel them as soon as I pulled the trigger. I could feel that I pulled. But other than the two little flyers, not bad groupings on either one.
Which one's which?
I feel that this was JC just from the recoil impulse.
You think the right one was the JC?
I believe so. Could be wrong. Wrong again.
The left one was the JC, and the right one was the Winchester. And these were your first 4. This was your last hole, and then those were the 2 that you pulled in the middle. So let's take them down and measure them.
Sounds good.
And see if your group's improved over the last.
Sounds good.
Alright, so here's the shootout results between the JC and the Winchester with the second group. And we went ahead and threw out the long shot on both of them. So the inside group is a 0.8 inches on JC and a 1.6 inches on the Winchester. Overall, JC, even with the flyer, is 1.67 inches, which compared to the first group we shot is still better than the smallest group on his first one. So any thoughts now on your second string?
Felt like I shot pretty well, except for a couple flyers here and there. JC Arms definitely grouped well. Looks like I'll be buying some in the future.
Sweet. Alright, so recently I did a JC shootout between the Freedom 124 and the 124. The JC won last time, and I had a couple of people call me out saying that I had screwed up because I knew which way they were loaded, which obviously I did because I was working by myself. This time Dustin's here. He's going to load a staggered magazine back and forth, and I'm going to shoot the JC again and see if we can get some repeatable results and see how it works. Alright, so you got me 10 rounds loaded up, staggered back and forth between the Freedom 124 and the JC 124, and I'm going to load it up and shoot it and see how it works.
Alright, so the first round is going to be
here, second round here.
So there's the grouping. I'm going to say that this is the JC and this is Freedom there.
You were absolutely correct.
Let's measure it up and see where we're at.
That sounds good.
Alright, so JC wins against the Freedom again. This is the second time I didn't know which one was which. I was a little bit shaky. We've been out here doing this for a little while. But again, with the JC 124 versus the Freedom 124, you can see here on the groups, the JC at the largest measured 1.61 inches, and the Freedom was a 1.76. Now these are only 5-round groups, but the JC felt more consistent. I was able to tell that I was shooting the JC versus the Freedom. The JC did have a little bit more of a recoil impulse, but it was a very smooth. Was a little bit laggier almost. It was a softer recoil, but you could kind of feel it a little bit more sluggish. Versus the JC was just a very consistent feel, which is kind of how I was able to tell which ammo that I was shooting at the time. Alright, so this time I'm going to do something I haven't done before. Before I've only shot the 124 grain from JC. This last time I made 115 grain from JC. So I'm going to put the 115 grain from JC up against the 124 and see if I can tell a difference, if there's any group size differences, and just kind of compare and contrast, see what the 124 versus the 115 on the JC feels like. Alright, we got some 124 and 115 of the JC staggered in the magazine and loaded up, so let's try it out.
First round is going to be here, second round here.
I pulled that one. So I know I pulled those. I pulled that. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. If I had to guess, this would be the 150 and this is the 124.
That's correct.
Good. Yeah, this was a little bit zippy. Kind of popped a little bit. The 124 was a little bit push, but they're not really that big of a difference. It was noticeable being staggered back and forth, but let's measure it up and see how those groups compare. Alright, so here's the 124 versus the 115 results. The 124 was a 2.01 inches, and the 115 was a 1.9 group. They were very both consistent. They were, I mean, 1.9 to 2.0 is very close. Not even worth mentioning it hardly. But like I said, the 115 was a little snappier. The 124 was a little bit more of a push. Both of them felt like very consistent, and still a great, awesome round. So. All right, everyone. We just finished up shooting a bunch of different guns. The Pepsi challenge from JC. And again, this was from shooting challenge. You go out and do this. So we got some boxes. We put some rounds down range. We had a lot of fun. I still love JC Arms. Dustin, this was your first time shooting.
It was my first time shooting it. I was impressed with the quality of the ammunition and the groupings I did get out of it.
So, had a good time. I'll go back and revisit the 40 again. But overall, I was still impressed. It's a very good ammo. Guys that run the company. And, like I said, if you haven't ever heard of JC ammo, go get a box and check it out for yourself. See if you're as good. And I guess that's it. We'll see you next time.